Tell me, do you frequently delete your browsing history after visiting certain websites? Do you sometimes look at mascot costumes on social media but never interact with their accounts? Well, my friend, you just might be a closet furry. And if you clicked on this video, I'm guessing you need a little help in how to be more involved in the fandom. Stealthily, of course. Hey everyone, I'm Soren, and today, I'll be giving you 5 tips for being an active closet furry. If you find this video useful and want some more helpful furry videos, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Before we get into it, I'm gonna start off by saying this. If you're a closet furry and are comfortable with being one, that is 100% okay. There are many furries who like to keep this interest a private thing, so rest assured that keeping it a secret is completely fine. However, if you are a closet furry that wants to get out there, then you're talking to the right guy, because let me tell you, I completely understand the struggle. Seeing all these pictures of furries going to cons and meeting all these furry friends, and just wishing to be a part of that, but you aren't exactly ready to tell your friends and family about this niche interest. Yeah, I know the feeling. But hope is not lost. There are ways to be a furry and still keep it a secret from others, so why don't we find out what they are? A quick note, but I did give each of these tips a boldness rating. Basically, a rating on how involved or noticeable these tips are to other furries. These tips will still keep you from being discovered by non-furries, but it'll also help you find fellow furries. The first tip I have for you is that the Incognito tab is your best friend. The Incognito tab won't record your internet history, so you're free to check out as many furry-related websites as you want. And if you're like me, you used it whenever you wanted to look at super cute fursuit pictures. The second tip I have is to use furry alternate accounts. So, let's say that you want to follow all these furry accounts on social media, but you know that all your other friends on the platform will see what you follow. Well, the easiest thing to do here is to create a completely separate account dedicated to furry content. This lets you interact with more furries and lets you keep up with furry content creators. Just remember to check which account you're on when you log in. Otherwise, you might end up sending one of your non-furry friends some pretty interesting furry memes. The third tip is to use more communication-based platforms. So what I mean by this is to use more social media that lets you communicate or talk with other furries in a more private setting, like with using Telegram or Discord. These are still forms of social media, but they're direct forms of contact rather than just a place to share posts or pictures. You can directly communicate with other furries via text messages, making more personal connections than with less involved social media websites. Alright everyone, buckle up, cause we're stepping out of the virtual realm for this next tip. Tip number 4, having implicit furry merchandise. These are things like stickers, accessories, or articles of clothing that feature furry designs, but in a very subtle way. These are the kinds of designs that can still pass for everyday outfits, since they aren't explicitly furry. Rather, these are designs that just look cool or fashionable in general, and they just happen to feature animals. And they're just enough so that other furries can spot you out in public. Still, you can take this to a whole new level with tip number 5. Having explicit furry merchandise. Now this is the kind of stuff that has designs that aren't really trying to hide the fact that you're a furry. Luckily, many people outside the fandom have very little experience with furries at all. And even with how explicit these designs are, they likely won't go up and ask, "Are you a furry?" unless they're a furry themselves. These can be things that include designs that are typically considered to be exclusive to the furry fandom. Or it could even be merchandise that supports specific furry content creators. In general, think of this as the ultimate magnet for attracting furries, while still hiding the fact that you're a furry from the general public. In a perfect world, we shouldn't ever need to feel shame for being a furry, or feel the need to hide it. One day, I hope to see the furry fandom accepted as any other fandom out there. Or, you know, at the very least ignored and tolerated. Were you a closet furry at some point? Or did you just dive right into the fandom and let everyone know? But if you are/were a closet furry, how was your experience with it? Let me know down in the comments below. But as always, thank you all so much for watching, and until next time, see ya!